Maybe we start with yeah, okay. We start with raincoat and then you can. What was your first reaction when you were offered to come here? Did you know that it will be so beautiful, or?
I didn't, but I have watched at least 30 hours of YouTube videos about Georgia. It's probably more beautiful than I had realized, because so I'm from Australia. I live in America, the USA, and we don't have. I feel like a lot of people don't have a conception of a lot of the world. And Georgia was just not. I didn't have visuals for it.
Why did you agree to come here to attend the festival?
To meet cool people, and because the festival. Well, the festival. When you look it up, the festival has an opinion. Okay, so a lot of festivals and events don't have an opinion. This one does, and so you can see that in the artwork, like from this year and the previous years. You can see that from the speakers. You can see that from the people who organize the event. And so, if there's an opinion, that's interesting to me. I do talk a lot about strategy in the field of advertising, but what we're really talking about is asking questions and listening, not rushing with answers, but asking lots of questions. And so that's sort of my party trick. Is I'll talk about how to write a creative brief, but mostly what I'm trying to do is talk to people about who they are and what they're going to do after they leave this industry, because that's going to be most of people's lives. Basically applying strategy frameworks that you might use in advertising to people to make the point that we are our main client. And a lot of people who work in advertising forget themselves in the kind of rush to have a career, to win awards, to like do epic things. So I'm going to bring people back to themselves today.
And what do we forget during this process?
Well, you forget who you were when you're a child, and it takes your 20s and 30s to go through that, and then in your 40s, maybe you start to work that out. Okay. But I'm gonna find a victim in the crowd,
yeah,
and they're gonna come up on stage,
okay,
and then we'll basically do therapy for 40 minutes. But I'll call it strategy.
And will you talk about your book also? Or
I don't talk about my book. I'll be talking about concepts in my book. But
okay.
Like, so just for other people who do talks, what I like to do is what the academics call constructivism.
Okay.
So I construct sessions around the audience and the people and what they say, and that becomes my material. I did write this book that's right there.
Yeah. And, can you share something from your book now?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words, but what I was going to say is that my favorite piece of reflection or feedback about the book is when someone says it's the first time I see myself in that book, because it's kind of a business book, right? But when someone says that, it's quite meaningful to me, because I wanted to write this book in a way where, I know this is a strange thing to say, I wanted people to feel that the book was reading them, but as if the book was a bit older than them.
You won't tell me some things that I don't know now?
Well, I'll repeat what I said earlier, which is I don't think you find yourself, I think you make yourself.
Yeah.
And so you might have all those choices, but if I ask you about your verbs, you're very quick. So you do know yourself.
Yeah.
But probably what you're second guessing is the way that society talks to you. Because you have all these choices and you're thinking like, which one should I do? Probably for other people, not for you.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to turn those voices off.
Okay.
Which I would have thought, having worked in the creative department, you'd be much better than I at. Because people I know, like art directors, copywriters, creative directors, I've always looked at them and I'm like, wow, they really know what they're about.
Okay.
And I was like, I wish I had that sort of sense of self.
And when did it come to you?
Through the process of writing this book. This book was me navigating all of that stuff. So this is a book that I wrote for myself.
So it was a process.
Yeah, so I started it 5 years ago when I was about 39, 40 years old. And around that age is often where things collapse and you have to like work out what you're doing for the rest of your life. And so literally this book was the way that I spoke to myself. This book is me trying to work out who I want to be, writing it for myself, but people have been buying it. But it's a private conversation with me. Yeah.
So it's like a life-changing book.
For me.
Yeah, for you, but
In a
for
way.
others also.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah.
But that's a bonus.
Thank you.
We're finished? Okay, good job.